I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
You may have noticed that some of our thumbnails and our website have all had a bit of a spruce up.
Well, I spotted that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought we should make some sort of nod to that. But, yeah, it's been a little while in the works, isn't it? I've been threatening to set this live for ages.
You have, but one thing and another, and yeah, it hasn't quite made it, but it's here. It's here now. We've been doing this for. This is our 60th episode.
Yeah, actually, I think we've got I think our first one was kind of a pilot, and then counted after that. So it's probably I think technically it's labelled episode 60 because the pilot was the first one.
And that didn't have a number. Yes.
No, and this is the 61st.
Well, I mean, the original stuff was all just, sort of put together quite quickly. We didn't know anyone was going to listen to this nonsense. And, it's kind of grown, hasn't it, a bit?
Yeah, I think so. And it got to the point where I go, well, all right, I know I've got day jobs and I know we're recording a podcast and we're doing all the other stuff as well.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
But probably should work on sprucing it up.
And I think it's tremendous.
Yes, it does seem to be quite well received.
It seemed to have gone down well. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it looks ace. I really do.
Yes, very, very pleased with it.
Mm.
Yeah, it makes us look slightly more like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, well, you see how easy it is to fool people.
I know, that's the thing. Yeah. It's given the wrong perception now.
It is. That's branding at its strongest, that is, you see, because we've completely hidden how amateurish this really is.
That's it. And you think, well, now we've got a nice new branding, and after having that, our original website was just a template thrown up, it
was thrown together. Well, we didn't know anyone was going to be interested in it, to be fair. I mean,
no, this is true. I mean,
we were in the depths of lockdown. Everyone was miserable and couldn't go anywhere, and it was all pretty grim. I mean, of course, that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You and I had started to have a bit of a chat every so often, just to sort of break things up, and we just thought, well, why don't we record this?
Yeah, that's it. And
see if anyone else likes it.
Turns out people do listen to our utter drivel, so that's good.
I don't understand it, but I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, so the website was always an embarrassment considering the day job.
Well, it is sort of what you do. Yes, it should. But it's like the mechanic always has the broken down car, and the builder always has the tumble down house. Yeah, you never have time to work on your own stuff because it doesn't earn money.
No, that's it. But it's like, well, actually, we'll shoehorn it in somewhere. So yes, it's been evenings here and there, but
yeah. No, it's really professional. I think it's it's a launch pad for our future.
It is, yeah. So we'll have a bit of that, and then I tell you what, it's quite. You say about it being episode 60, you end up if you go to the podcast page on the site where it's got the list of the episodes, you go, that is quite a lot now. That's a lot of scrolling.
It is, isn't it? When you actually look at it, I was looking at it on YouTube, and you think, oh, blimey, there's loads of this.
Mm.
It's you and I gibbering on for days, literally.
That's it. Yeah, I've not actually added up the total time. That would be marginally interesting to find out.
Well, if each one's about an hour,
they're there or thereabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're getting on for 2.5 days.
Yeah, we are.
Audio there.
Non-stop, just you and me and our lovely guests.
Well, that's it. So you could hit play on your provider of choice, and you don't have to budge for a couple of days.
You just got us in your ear.
Oh dear.
I don't think that's healthy.
No, I think the odd episode that's fine, but I don't think 2 days constant that's going to do anyone's sanity any good.
I think you're going to need some treatment after that, aren't you? You're going to, and not just your sort of regular therapist. You're going to need a team, possibly at a university.
Oh right, yeah, they'll be all over that. Okay, he's in the right state. This one.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Listening to someone witter on about how much he doesn't like SUVs.
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a lot of
We
that.
said it's going to be your constant reference to Bond cars, but which there are, but
There
there's
are.
me constantly moaning.
Yeah,
I
I
just
suspect we're going to have some more of that shortly.
Oh God, yes. Should we drag it into Carland now?
Shall we move on there since we've found a sort of natural segue there? And
We segueing
yeah,
straight to that.
I think let's start with that. I have a number of items I wish to
Okay.
raise on the agenda, but I think we should start with what I think we're both referring to.
Yes, the latest offering from Lotus.
Yes, the lovely Electra.
Lovely. That's an interesting phrase, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I use the term ironically.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Good.
Yes,
Right. Okay. We've had the odd exchange off podcast.
we have. Yes.
And
Everyone's had an opinion on this. Actually, it's become a very polarizing vehicle already, and it doesn't even really exist yet.
no, this is true. I think if you come at it with logic and reason, which make me want to do a sick in my mouth, then you've raised good points when we were talking about it being the only way that the brand can survive.
Yeah, I do believe that, and I think people have said Colin Chapman would be spinning in his grave, and it flies against everything that the Lotus brand stands for.
Mm.
I'm not. I When you come down to it, they have no choice. If they don't do this, there isn't going to be a Lotus.
Yeah, and it's
So,
this.
huff and puff about it all you like. It's
I will.
there. I don't think Colin Chapman would be spinning in his grave because I think it's a good business decision to do it.
It's not. This isn't Lotus's fault. I don't think. This is the car industry in general.
Yeah, that's probably fair to say. Yeah.
The fact that everyone just thinks, well, just make an SUV.
Yeah. There is a lot of that. I agree. I think partly it's because it's probably the easiest platform to start with because
Yeah,
you've got loads of room and you don't have to
yeah.
worry so much about the packaging and weight distribution and all that kind of thing. You can, it's a very forgiving platform, from that perspective, from a design
Yeah.
perspective, from an engineering perspective. And I know they've tried to weave into the story that they tell, because all marketing tries to tell a story, and I think they've tried to weave the Lotus values into it. I think they're stretching things a bit with that, but I think it has to exist. I don't think they've got a lot of choice. They're coming to the party a bit late, and they, like a lot of small manufacturers, have to find a way forwards. They can't afford to develop a whole new range of electric cars. They can't go straight for the kind of lightened sports cars that they are known for. They've got to go for something that's going to earn some money, and I think that will sell. I think the
It will.
badge will sell it.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I just can't stand it.
No, I know what you mean. I don't hate it. In terms of its looks, it's not brilliant, but I don't detest it. I mean, I wouldn't buy one, with money.
No,
Um,
no.
but
I get why it's a thing. I just don't like that it's a thing. I don't just.
yeah,
It's, um.
I can understand that. I think it's a function of the situation we find ourselves in, and or more to the point, the situation they find themselves in. The money they make from this and the potential saloon car that they've hinted at, the money they make from these type of vehicles will filter down and will allow them to do the little lightweight sports cars that we love them for. But if they don't do this, none of that will happen, and
Yeah.
Lotus will probably cease to be. at least in the form that they are. I think they would become a brand name on someone else's production line.
Yeah.
That's the way it would go. And I think the people that are really slating them for this are not really seeing the big picture.
No, I mean,
Love it or hate it, they've got to do it. And I think they're part of the Geely Group collaboration with other members of that group, Polestar, LEVC, will allow them access to a platform that they could never afford to develop on their own. And without that kind of collaboration, they'd be finished within a few years. As we've said, the clock is running now. They've got less than 8 years before selling anything with an internal combustion engine, and it will be illegal. So they've got to do it. And I think this is their only option. It will sell, it will make them money that they can then use to build the kind of cars that we all know they should be making.
Yeah, and I'm at the point where could we just fast forward to that? I accept this has got to be a thing. I've sat with it now for a little while. We've had a few days.
You're not as angry as you were on the day of the launch.
I was furious.
You were, which is why I felt the need to quite firmly point out. Just think about this for a minute.
Yeah, it's just.
I know you hate it, but
I do. But it's just when you think of an Elan and you go, "Oh my god, what have they done?"
Yeah.
It's poles apart.
It is,
and like I said, it's not their fault. Everyone's doing it because people in the world think they want an SUV.
Yeah, I mean, if there wasn't a market for it, they wouldn't make it.
It's people that are the issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've had this debate on many occasions when we've been lamenting the demise of the estate car, although it's nice to see that there are now a few estate cars coming onto the electric market.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Even from the likes of, mainstream manufacturers like Audi that are going to do an electric estate car. And I think that's terrific. And of course, Porsche have done one before an SUV, which is brilliant.
Hats off.
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, is it that people want SUVs, or is it that for years that's all they've been able to buy? I don't know.
It really is tricky, isn't it? Because the whole industry goes, well, we'll just make SUVs. When you've got Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Ferrari is on the way.
It's coming. It's coming.
We've had Alfa Romeo. Maserati got one yet? I can't.
Yes, they have.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called, but there is one. Yes,
right.
It's not electric, but there is one.
Bentley Bentayga.
Yes,
and the truly hideous, the Cullinan, which we've tackled.
Oh, that looks like a fridge they've put some wheels on. It's
not good.
Terrible.
Not good.
It's not.
That's it. But you've got one for every bit of the market, haven't you? You've got this high-end tat.
The Levante is the Maserati SUV. I just looked it up.
Oh, that's it. Yes, I have heard the name.
Horrible.
But you've even got the low-end stuff. You can go and get your Dacias. They've got some sort of SUV type thing or
Duster.
crossover.
The Dacia Duster, which you see everywhere. It's because they cost about £12.50 and they're actually quite good.
But people think they want it. They think, "Oh, I'm high up. I'm safe. I can see everything."
People like being high up. They feel safer in it because they're higher up and there's lots of metal around them. I'm not saying they are safer. I mean, people feel safer.
That's weird.
But I've never had any interest in having one. But I don't know. I don't know where it started. It's chicken and the egg, isn't it? Is it supply? Is it the demand was there for it, so car manufacturers started making it, or car manufacturers started making it exclusively, so that's all anyone could buy? I don't know.
It's difficult.
As I said though, it's a very easy platform to make. I can see why they'd want to go for it because even from an engineering point of view, whether it's ICE or electric, it's a really easy platform to work with.
Well, you say easy, it's lazy, isn't it?
Yeah, all right. That's the other word for it. Yes.
But I tell you what, I do the school run for 3 days during the week.
Yeah.
And you see it. I mean, what
Yes.
really boils my piss is not only is it a sea of SUVs, but you see, where I live is it's about a 3.5 minute walk from my front door to the kids' front gate at school.
Yeah.
And there are people who live closer than I do who put the kids in the SUV to drive them to the school.
Yeah.
And
I
you
know.
get there.
Do they sit there with the engine running as well? Because we get a
Yeah,
lot of that here.
yeah, we
Yeah.
get they've got this weirdly labeled system actually at school where it's called kiss and drop,
Mm.
which basically means
We've all had relationships like that.
yeah, very odd name. So you drive up and you sit in a queue of diesel cars where you wait for the row of idiots in front of you to kick their child out of the car. Sorry, they give them a nice kiss and send them on their way. But no, it's usually some disgruntled parent going, "No, where's this? Why have you forgotten that? No, you need to get that."
There's a lot of anger in the mornings. Yeah.
And it's all it is. It's BMW X5s, X3s, Nissan Duke, Range Rover Evokes,
they're everywhere.
Tiguan's.
Yes.
What else we got there? There are a few Dusters as well, and
Yes.
that's all it is. It's just a sea of it.
Yeah, I know. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere.
With the exception of one, someone's got a 5-litre Mustang.
Oh, you've mentioned him before.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, which actually, where you go, some people give him the prick look. When you go, no. Actually, if you think about it, everyone else around him is the prick.
Yes, absolutely. He's actually, at least he's done something different.
Yeah. So
yes.
I'll tell you what. Someone actually has got a Renault Sport Megane. One of the older ones, the really fat-assed ones.
Nice.
But,
yeah.
It's really nicely looked after. It's got you can see it's got like almost slicks on it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
They are verging on not being road legal, but
they're drifting the way home. Yes, very good.
Yes, that's a new addition to the school run. But yes, but unfortunately, the SUV thing is a theme, and like you say, we don't. It's chicken or egg? We don't know which way round.
I don't know where it started. I don't know where it is. Was it people buying old Range Rovers and it went from there? I don't know.
I really hope not.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
See, now that's another case in point. The new Range Rover. Why is it not electric? It is ludicrous that there is no electric version of that.
There's plenty of room in there for some gubbins.
Yes, quite.
And they've got some knowledge to base it on because they're part of Jag as well. There's some.
Yes, they've got the I-Pace.
Yeah, there's some electric tech kicking about. Did they say 2025 it would be?
Yeah. Why?
Well,
why is it not already electric? It's ridiculous that it's not.
It's very daft, but you got to also think, well, your Range Rover buyer is going to continue buying Range Rover regardless of what's powering it, I think. So it probably isn't affecting their sales.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I don't think I don't think someone who wants a Range Rover is going to care particularly what powers it.
They're not, without being too sort of harsh or judgmental, they're not going to be eco warriors.
No, probably not. Although the Range Rover is one of the few big SUVs that actually is very capable off-road. I know a lot of them don't ever go there.
They'll never go off-road, but it is, like you say,
it can.
capable. Yeah.
Yes. Whereas a lot of these toy SUVs don't have any off-road tech in them at all. I mean, some of them are front-wheel drive.
That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yes, but the Range Rover actually is really good in the rough stuff. So it is at least capable of doing that. And of course, electric is perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. All that torque all the time
Oh
across the
yeah,
whole power band, to all four wheels.
yeah.
It's perfect for proper off-roading and for towing and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely all that low down torque.
Mm.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can't knock it, but no, he's got to wait 3 more years. Yeah,
Oh, why?
very,
I
very
just
odd.
think it's crazy. It looks like it should be electric. If you look at a picture of it,
Yeah, I know
you
what you
would
mean.
say that's electric. It looks like it should be, but I
I,
just think it's such a missed opportunity.
do you think the whole sort of brand and group that they're involved with might be a bit cash strapped?
Do you think?
I think,
Might be.
yeah, I use the phrase loosely. Um,
I think they've only managed to do it at all because they found some money down the back of the sofa. Um,
hmm, I mean, I
yes, I mean the
suppose
fact that they haven't done the all electric XJ, which we've mentioned before, the fact that they ditched that would suggest that either there's some serious flaws in their technology, which there probably isn't because the iPace, there's no kind of horror stories.
no,
Um,
that's it. Probably the odd teething problem, and that was it, really, wasn't it?
and yeah, I think there were some issues to begin with. It wouldn't charge to its full rate, and it wouldn't charge on some chargers, but they sorted all that out.
Hmm.
Um, I think it was released a little bit too soon.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair
There
to
was
say. I
still a
think,
few issues in the platform when it went
yeah,
on
yeah,
sale. But a lot of the engineering behind that was done by Rimac. So, it's proper stuff.
yeah. Someone's put a bit of
Um,
thought into it, but yeah,
mm,
I think that's, I think that's part and parcel of it. They're a bit cash strapped. They know that if they launch the car now, it'll still sell.
it'll still sell, and this is the last chance to sell an internal combustion car of that sort, well, of any sort. This
Mm.
will be the last diesel Range Rover.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it,
that's
it will.
yeah.
That's
We can
just.
we can say that confidently.
But there we are. That's
So yeah, well, yeah.
that's the future. That's electric SUVs, and they're not going away.
No, that appears to be the case. They are ramping up for the moment. It just needs to be. I tell you what, because like congestion charges and ULEZ and all that sort of stuff, that
Mm,
always trickles down and affects what people buy,
yes.
which is great. So what they now need to do is for inner cities and congestion stuff is the size of vehicle.
Yes.
If there's restrictions on that, we might lose these poxy SUVs.
Yeah, people will stop buying them, won't they?
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
that's that's the dream anyway. But there we go.
I
I
mean, I
don't.
think it's going to be interesting. And we've already seen it with some types of vehicles, but it's going to be interesting, probably not immediately, but certainly within 2 or 3 years, what starts happening to the used market, because people are going to start coming up to changing their cars,
Mm,
and they're going to realize that petrol and diesel are going to be no more. I can't see the price of fuel or the tax on fuel coming down.
no, no.
They're going to try and tax people out of their cars long before they're banned.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be some really high spec cars on the used market for next to nothing in a minute, with big petrol and big diesel engines. Because
Yeah, I
I
can see
think
that.
people are going to want shot of them, and certainly anything that's been on a fleet where they're replaced regularly.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Um, I think there's going to be some real bargains on some really high spec cars that you
mm,
could still run for a few years.
yeah. I suppose you and I could cash in at that point.
Well,
Let's
maybe
let
so.
let someone else take the hit initially, and then go. Well, I'll
Yes.
tell you what. All right, I'll have a year of something daft.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. And
that might.
then, I mean, of course, you'll still be able to use petrol and diesel cars. They're only banning the sale of brand new ones.
Yeah,
But the cost of the fuel and the tax is going to factor into that. And people say, oh, I'll never give up diesel. I'll just keep buying used ones. Okay. How are you going to run it? Because the,
That's
the cost of the fuel is going to be through the roof.
yes.
You're
It's
not going to be able to move that off your driveway.
yeah. Well, we felt that a bit in recent times, haven't we?
Well, we've already had a little taster of that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
People didn't like
So
it.
no, they didn't, and it's coming.
Yeah. So,
Um,
mm. Oh dear.
So yeah, I think yeah. So it's the whole car industry is in such a period of flux at the moment. It's
That's the thing, isn't it? We can't take it all to heart. Yes, it's all SUVs at the minute, and no, I'm not going to buy any of them
no,
whatsoever.
no,
It doesn't matter. I don't care what powers it or who makes it. I'm not buying it.
no. This isn't a petrol or electric thing. This is
No,
nothing to do with that. No, absolutely not.
no, no. I
No,
don't. I don't want your vehicles.
no.
Mm.
Take it away.
Yes. So right. So we're both saying we have no desire to own the Lotus. Was it Electra? I can't remember.
The Electra. No, I have no desire to own an Electra. No.
No. From the day of release, I wanted to damage people who worked for Lotus, and then having time to reflect, I go right
No, no.
now.
That's
Now,
wrong.
no, I've calmed right down, and I've
Yes.
just gone right. I'm just going to pretend it's not there and wait for a really ridiculously fast small sports car from them.
Pretend it's not there. Let
Yeah,
them make their money, which
yeah,
they can then use to make the car that you're interested in. Yes.
that's
Just
it.
don't think about how they've managed to afford that. Don't think about this bit.
No,
Just yeah.
you tell you what though is there's going to be time because I from time to time we do go to London. It's when you see one that's when you're really going to kick off when someone's cruising around Knightsbridge in it or something like that. And you go, oh, this is
Well,
just
that's where most of them will end up, of course.
that's it.
Yeah.
Or like I said to you the other day, it's either going to be the posing around London or when you have to pop Tarquin in the back to take him to his private school. Mm.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Well, as I think my dad summed it up quite well, he said, "Well, we now live in a world where I could tow my caravan with a Lotus."
Yeah,
He's
what a
not going to. I just
no.
point that out.
Just why is yeah
But he could.
he's raised a valid point, and it's odd how we've got here.
It's very strange, isn't it? Who'd have thought?
Mm. Oh dear. Right.
There we are.
Have we got anything more cheerful in the car news world? Because I've got a little bit. What?
I have. I've
Right.
got
Okay.
a couple of things actually.
Go on then. Go on then. Before
Again, it's this isn't intentional, but it's all electric again. But that's because all the interesting car releases at the moment all are electric. So
no, I'm going to
um,
come right back at you with dinosaur juice in a minute. So don't worry
are
about it.
you going to get us a bit of a whiff going? Are you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you worry about it.
This is just a little one. There's no details of this. In fact, there's no details of either of the cars I'm going to mention. But um, they, I noticed this week that Alfa Romeo have announced that they will be doing an all-electric Giulia,
Okay.
which of course is not an SUV. It's a
That's
four-door
not.
saloon.
It's actually an attractive saloon as well.
It's an attractive, fairly small, practical four-door saloon. Yes. No details on that at all. They have just confirmed that the next version of the Giulia will be all electric. So
Right. I'm happy. That's fine with me. That one.
I was going to say, I think that should bring you up a bit again.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely fine with that.
Yes. I have searched for details, but there aren't any yet.
Okay.
It's too early.
Watch this space on that one.
Watch this space. There's no details on that at all, but yeah, it did come as an official announcement, so it's not just a rumor. It is
Okay. I mean, it's one of those
going
ones.
to happen.
Even if it turns out to be a bit shit, people are still going to like that.
Yeah, the Julia isn't though, is it?
No,
The
not.
Julia's not. It's by all accounts really, really good.
Yeah.
So
And
stick a decent electric powertrain in there, and ooh,
well, that's it. I mean, you've got something you can just use every day there. It's the perfect family vehicle. And
yeah.
if the current range is anything to go by, yes, you've got your standard ones, but then you've got the ridiculously hot ones as well. So I'd like to have
Quite
in electric form, please, as well.
And well, ridiculously hot is quite easy to achieve with electric. Even the base ones tend to be ridiculously hot.
So yep,
that's a very strong contender. That's a very interesting car. That
That's
very interesting.
Yeah, car people are going to buy that.
Oh, they are. Absolutely. If there was ever a car to convince a petrol head to look at electric,
Well, that's it, because you
that
think,
could be it.
like we mentioned before, Mercedes have dropped the ball because, yes, their electric tech isn't like horrendous or anything. It's really quite good. Their design is atrocious at the
It's
moment.
absolutely horrific.
I mean, not
Yes.
as bad as BMWs, who have really dropped
No.
the clanger with their I range.
Yeah, theirs is on a whole new level of
Yeah,
awful.
so
Yes.
we've lost BMW and Merc from
Yeah,
the petrol head sort of clan.
we have.
Uh,
We don't know yet.
Audi are still keeping it strong with the e-tron.
Audi are keeping it very strong, although their offerings are all quite large. They haven't done a small
So
EV
that's it.
yet.
Alpha could really steam in there and
We
get a
don't
bit of
know what
traction.
Jaguar are going to do yet, whether there's going to be an electric XF or XE. An electric XE would be very nice. But yeah, they could. Well, it's this or the Model 3.
I mean, if we're going purely on visuals, I'm afraid the Alpha wins.
Yes, it does.
It,
Well, I mean, we haven't seen it yet. But
no, but judging by the current one, I think we're in
yes,
safe hands.
I agree. That'd be a tough battle, wouldn't it?
That
That'd be a
would.
tough battle.
I mean, it would be tricky because you'd assume, the gubbins wouldn't be quite Model 3 spec, but
No, the tech won't be where Tesla is, and the charging won't be. But
if you've got Italian styling, that
that's
really could
tough.
sway it, couldn't it?
That's hard to beat, isn't it? That's hard to beat. You'd be thinking of the Model 3 as you walked into the Alfa Romeo showroom. Yes.
Yeah.
You think, it's a bit faster and it'll go further and I can charge it faster. But look at it.
Yeah, that's going to be a big sway.
Yeah, it is. That's tough, that one.
That's it. So yeah, I think they could really make a killing on that, because some of the German brands have dropped the ball a bit.
I'm really pleased that they're going to do that, because the Italian manufacturers have been so anti-EV in the last few years. You know, the boss of Ferrari saying we will never do an electric car, which clearly was just a stupid thing to say, because he was going to be forced to eventually.
Yeah, it's just posturing at that point.
It was, but it's nice now that they're starting to make these mutterings about doing all electric, and I praise them if they do the Giulia. I think that's brilliant. A little 4-door saloon. That's perfect. That's what we want.
That's it. And I think they could really go for it. And I think if that kind of is a bit of a launch bed for them,
well, yeah,
I think. Well, that means that then, because with everyone who's doing the electric stuff, they basically start bigger and go smaller. And I always loved the Mito. Always loved the style. I know it's a Punto in a frock. But you imagine something like that with electric drawing train. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, get back to making exactly what we want. Cars as well.
Yes, please. Something that will fit in a bloody parking space.
Yeah, Italians can do city cars. Do that.
Yes.
Do you, Julia? Then do one of those.
Yes.
I'll have that.
Make something that will actually fit down some of your own streets. Because if you've ever been to Italy,
there's not much room for anything, really.
There really isn't. No.
And yet there's a lot of vehicles.
All damaged. Yes.
It's like I said to you, I think we mentioned it before in a podcast, of going that we were on a bus through the centre of Rome, and there was a central reservation, and in it, actually part of the central reservation, was a smart car with a wheel ripped off.
There you go.
That's
it. That's Italy right there.
Yeah, that's right there. So I don't even know how you have done that.
No, that's quite impressive, because they're quite solid.
It's just
but somehow
that's happened.
Yeah, no, that is what it's like. So yeah, something a little bit rugged, but not too big.
Yep. Yep, we'll have all of that. So
that's what we want. So that was great. I saw that and thought, yes, that's spot on. That's
that
what
is
we
good
need.
news, right? So
That is good news. I knew that would cheer you up.
have you got some more good news? Are you keeping it going?
I have.
Go on, go
I
on.
am keeping it going. Yeah, I'm keeping it going. Another electric offering. This one's a bit special though. This
Right,
one's going to need some discussion.
go on then.
Um, we were asked recently on Twitter, which I think I replied to, about what we thought about some of the announcements coming from DeLorean.
Mm,
Well, they've been putting out press releases for years that they were working on a new car.
that's right. Yeah.
And nothing's ever come of it. We've never seen anything. Nothing's ever been produced. They've never even shown a prototype.
Hmm.
And as I replied on Twitter, I think, well, I take all this with a pinch of salt because they've been saying this for years and nothing ever comes of it. So until they actually wheel something out, I'm not going to take it too seriously.
Yeah.
And we should be clear for people who don't know, DeLorean Motor Company today, which is not the same company that went bust in 1982.
No.
The DeLorean Motor Company today, who are based in Texas and California, are the company that now own the rights to the name and the logos and the branding and all the stuff, all
That's
the
it.
intellectual property. And they also have the stockpile of parts and I think some of the tooling
Hmm.
that was bought from the factory when it closed in 82.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that all sounds present
So
and correct.
they've been catering to the DeLorean community for since the late 80s when they first
Yes.
set up. I don't know if it's this company that actually bought it all. I think I read something. There was another company, and then they bought that company.
Okay.
I forget the details of it.
Yeah.
But DeLorean Motor Company today are a repair and restoration business, and they will sell you a DeLorean. They'll sell you a new DeLorean because they've got all the parts. They can build.
Yeah, you can make a whole
Um,
one out of it.
they
So,
can
yeah.
make a whole one for you. Yes, that's right. Out of new old stock parts, and they've been re-engineering bits and have engineered out a lot of the inherent problems in the original car, and they've
Hmm.
done good work. The two guys that run it, one of them who's a British guy, Steve Wynn, he particularly has been making a lot more noise lately about a new car
Hmm.
that they've apparently been working on for some years. And this very week, they have put out the first press release saying that they are poised to actually unveil a car.
That's right. They've said it will be at Pebble Beach.
Be at Pebble Beach on the 18th of August,
Hmm.
was the date I saw.
I think that's correct.
Um,
Yeah.
and they are going to unveil the all electric, all new DeLorean.
Well,
And they've teased us with a little bit of a picture, which you may have seen.
yeah. That's
Um,
the rear corner, isn't it?
it's sort of a rear quarter from the
That's
back,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
just showing part of the rear lights. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just when are you putting your name down? That's the
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, be still my trousers. This could be. This could be
yeah. This is.
just everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it is, and this
Mm.
this is ruinous for you. This is
I could. This could be it. Yeah. This could be. Yeah, as you say, ruinous.
yeah. There's going to be a sale of a house, and then an acquisition of a car,
Yeah.
and and that's it. That's as
and
simple as that.
then and it's going to be there, and I'm probably going to have to live in it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously all the family will have gone by that
yeah.
point.
Yeah, you're looking
Um,
disowned. Yeah.
that's a given, then, isn't it? At that point, yeah. So no details on it.
No, we got no idea.
No,
They've not said anything about drivetrain. Did they? Am I right in
no.
saying that? Um, I'm sure I read somewhere that styling has been done by Ital again.
Been done by Ital, which of course the same as the original was designed
That's
by
it. Yeah.
Giugiaro. So yes, Ital design. They say this car has been in development for 10 years. And that they have two cars is what's been that this isn't in the press release, but looking at some discussions, in the DeLorean community, which I
Mm.
do have some sort of half a foot in.
Oh yes.
There's some discussion that they have two cars.
Okay.
One is a prototype, which is what they're going to show at Pebble Beach,
Hmm.
and the other is a sort of part production ready car,
Right.
which is being breathed on, ready for production. But that's not the car they're going to show. So
Okay.
that one is probably more of a mule,
Hmm.
whereas the prototype is probably more of a polished thing. But
Yeah,
how
something.
far apart those two are, we've no idea.
That's it. I mean, when you're going to Pebble Beach with a concourse show like that, you'll be wanting to take the one that looks good. That's the most
Yes,
important
you
thing,
want
isn't it?
with all the rounded off corners and the wheels
Yeah.
on straight. Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's the one you want. And I think yes, I know you're going to want it enormously, and I'm not far behind you, to be honest.
And you probably wouldn't turn it down yourself. No,
No, it,
absolutely.
it's got all the promise. We've always said the DeLorean should have been electric from the start.
And if the tech had been there in his day, it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the technology that just, he was a bit ahead of his time, really, in what he
Mm.
was trying to do. But yeah, this could be incredible if they've spent 10 years working on it.
Yeah, this is your dream car come to life at this
Yeah,
point.
I fear this may be the poster that I could actually have on the driveway. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. But it's said that they're going to be built, at least initially, in very small numbers, because in order to produce it, they seem to be using some loopholes in American legislation in terms of how they can produce a car quicker.
Okay.
Um, in that, because they are registered as a restoration and modification business,
Right.
if enough of it is based on a similar design to the original,
Hmm.
they can get it to market quicker if they keep the numbers down, because
Right. Okay.
technically it will be classed as a modified car rather than a new one. So if
Blimey.
they were to say keep the chassis the same or something like that, they could use some of these rules, but that does mean they're probably only making about 300. It's very small numbers
All
under
right.
that
So is that
under that
300
legislation.
ever or per year or that's
It would be per year. Yeah,
right? Okay.
from
Okay.
what I've read, it would be per year. So, but if they are at least initially handmade, I don't know how they're going to be made, but if they're handmade at their facilities in California or Texas, then 300 a year is probably quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, the original, although it was on a production line, it was a very handmade car.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like it was robots building the car. It was it,
No, well, they
the
couldn't really
production.
do that because they didn't go together that well. So
No. No.
a
No. It
robot
was
wouldn't have been able to do it.
no. We've said about this before. It was a workforce that had never built cars before building cars.
Yes, it
Uh,
was.
so yeah.
And the design was not without its flaws.
Mm.
It wasn't really ready to go into mass production. Um, and they did have guys on the teams on the production lines that their whole job was to make bits fit.
Hammer.
Well, all kinds of tricks, all kinds of tricks. The car that I well, in fact, there's a few cars that I have seen restored over the years, including the one I was involved with, which um, under the under some of the panels where the bolt would go through into the underbody, it was packed out with washers to bring it out from and all those little tricks to kind of make it fit and make the rub strips line up and all that kind of
Bloody
stuff.
hell.
It was, yeah, doors were a big problem, and this new
Okay.
car apparently will have gull wing doors.
Good. Good.
um
I'd be upset if it didn't. Really.
oh, it has to, doesn't it,
Yeah.
really? It has to.
Wonder if they stay up.
um that'd be nice. See, no, that was a myth that they didn't stay up. It's just that they were very heavy, and the gas lifts they use or used were not brilliant. It's fine now, but yes,
Just
hopefully
upgrade
they'll
your
stay up.
struts.
Yeah, put your better struts in, and you'll be fine. But and no, although the picture of it is it's silver, whether it's bare metal,
Yeah, you can't really tell much from that, can you?
no, you can't. But obviously, it would
Well,
have to be silver. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Watch this space. Come August, we're going to be glued to that.
Oh, we'll be all over that, and
Mm,
yeah, you'll have much excitement, and
I will.
very good. I like
We'll
that.
be coming back to that.
We
But
will indeed. Yeah.
as I say, I've always dismissed these announcements in the past because there's been so many of them and we've
Mm.
never seen anything. This is the first one where they've actually said they're going to wheel something out for us to look at.
Yeah, that's a big deal to say on this date you will see it.
Yeah,
That's ballsy. So yeah,
it is.
You don't go back on that now.
They've got to do it.
Yeah,
They've got to do it now, otherwise they're finished. So yes,
yes, indeed. No, like that. We'll have a bit of that.
I think so.
Right. Have you got any more electric?
No, that was all for me.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna drag us back into the dark ages here.
Okay.
And this week, the prices were announced in the UK for the Toyota GR86, which is kind of going to, I would say, is probably the last hurrah for a naturally aspirated small sports car from a Japanese manufacturer.
Probably. Yes, probably.
And it's a smidge under 30 grand, which I think they're going to sell like hotcakes at that.
I think that is going to fly out of the showrooms. I'm just looking at some pictures of it. Yeah, 29,995.
And
oh
yeah, I just think that's
it's a good looking thing, isn't it?
Really like that. That is,
Yeah.
there's a proper driver's car. I tell you what I don't like is some of the immediate comments on piston heads of, but because it gets announced because it's a small, relatively lightweight car with not a huge amount of power. It's just meant for fun, and they've gone, well, it's woefully underpowered, should have at least 300 horsepower, dangerously slow. Like, no, it's not. It's not. You need
it isn't. Should put turbos on it and all that. I've seen those comments myself. Yes.
Yeah, you go, no. Enjoy it for what it is. Go back to driving whatever dross you've got. I've got no time. I don't think they get the concept of this.
Enjoy this while it's here, because there's probably not going to be any more.
No, that's it. Can you? The fact that it's naturally aspirated as well. You go, well, that's something impressive on its own. I mean, everyone's throwing turbos on everything at the moment, but I think Toyota have got enough in their range to sort of balance it out and go, right, we can get away with not turbocharging this because we've got enough electrics and hybrids in the range now.
Yeah, but that's not what this is about, is it? This isn't.
No, and I just think if I had the wherewithal, I'd have it. I'd snap it up, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really would. I think it's one of those things that at the moment, I think it is to be enjoyed before it goes.
Before you can't. Yeah, absolutely.
But
I
also,
think that's lovely.
And off the back of it, you immediately go on Auto Trader and go, well, what about the original GT86s? And my goodness me, they're still strong money.
Yeah, well, they will be, won't they?
Really strong money.
Yeah.
Even some of the ones that really, really early ones, probably 2012. So was that when they came out? Or there or thereabouts?
Don't know, but probably, yeah.
But even some that have been wrapped around the hedge and sort of Cat S's or whatever they are, they're still big money.
Yes. It's not putting people off, is it?
It's not.
Because it's a Toyota.
That's it. Whether you want that or if you want the real exclusivity and you want the Subaru BRZ.
Yeah.
I do like them, and this new fancier GR one even more so.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a lovely looking thing.
I'd have that.
That is very you, that car.
I
Yeah. Small, a
couldn't.
bit funny looking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last of its kind. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. They broke the mold with me.
There you go.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah, so big praise to Toyota for that.
Yeah. Top
And
marks. Top marks.
Toyota get a bit more praise as well, and then get it taken away immediately.
You give with one hand and take away with the other.
Yeah, I'm about to give them slightly more and then remove it all in one go, because they announced they've taken an utterly dreary car in their range and made it fabulous.
Okay.
They unveiled, the GR Corolla. Now this thing looks menacing.
I'm going to look that up.
And I just think, wow, yes, please, one of those.
Oh my word! Look at that.
Yeah, that looks evil, doesn't it? You've taken one of the most boring cars in your range, and you've made that desirable, fast, tremendous. That's brilliant. And then you read slightly further down the article and go, it won't be sold in Europe.
Oh, of course not.
You're like, oh, for the love of God, why do it?
Yeah. Why not sell it in the region where that sort of car is most popular?
So far, it appears to be marketed to the US.
Oh, that doesn't look like a US car at all.
I can understand if it were Japanese market. I can see that selling there. US.
Yeah.
Why do they want a GR Corolla?
Well, they don't.
I wouldn't have thought so. We want one.
That's weird.
Because you see the Corollas, there are some in British Touring Car Championship.
Yeah.
And this is not far removed from the silly aero they have in the BTCC.
Yes.
And you go, I can have a touring car on the road. You go, no, you can't. You really?
No, you can't. Not unless you move to America.
You think, well, what? Because it's basically you're getting the kind of performance that they were getting out of the GR Yaris. They put it in a slightly bigger car, so you can have a strong argument if in the family discussion and go, right, this is a practical car. This one, it's got this
thing,
bigger.
isn't it?
Yeah, this is very very practical car.
It's a 5-door hatchback with a hatchback. No, hatchback.
No. Yep, you get lots of bags in it. That's good.
Yes, that's right. Yes,
but yes, not for us.
Yeah, that's silly. When you look at, Focus ST, Golf GTI, they all have sold really, really well.
Yeah,
over here. That's weird that they're not doing that.
Yeah,
that's very weird. That's incredible. Yeah.
It's just
how disappointing! I wish you hadn't shown me that now.
But it's got that's the thing. It's got that same ridiculous 3-cylinder turbocharged 300 horsepower engine, 6-speed manual. That's just
But we don't get it.
No.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. What's strange to say? I mean, they must have some market research that's told them that that's a sensible decision.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. But what an incredible looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job. But there's something cool, isn't there, about it's hot hatch, isn't it? It's hot hatch.
Oh, and they've got that really cool thing in it. It's because obviously it's 4-wheel drive. You can adjust the torque split between front and rear.
Of course you can.
So apparently they say the standard is 60-40 with a front bias. You can change it to 50-50 or 30-70. Now there you go.
Wow.
Send it backwards, yes, please.
Yes. When you're in the mood for a bit of silly. Yes. Oh, that's tremendous.
But no, still not allowed that.
But you're not going to get it.
No.
Don't even have the option of having that.
No. So I do hope they listen to the outcry from the internet and go, no, over here as well, please.
Over here, please. Send someone on a boat. Yes. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So it turns out all my news from the car world is from Toyota this week. So
You've gone Toyota heavy there, haven't you?
I have.
You Japanese fellow. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like both of those cars, please.
Yes, but only one of them is an option.
Yeah, but I think actually the one that is an option, I know I don't spending 30 grand on a car is ridiculous, but in this day and age, that kind of car for that kind of money is actually all right.
Yeah, it's not out of the way.
It's not. They've priced that very cleverly.
Yeah.
There's going to be a waiting list for that car.
As you say, that's going to shift like mad. Yes.
That's going to be the same thing as the GR Yaris, where you can go to the dealership and you can put your name down, but you're not getting one anytime soon.
Yeah, you can have a sit in one. You might even get a drive of it, but you're not buying one. No.
No. You can have one in several years' time or something along those lines.
Yes. If you're lucky and you know someone. Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. I'll only have one of them as it turns out. But yeah,
apparently you'll only have one of them. But what tremendous fun you would have.
But yeah, they are. I think they're both that kind of last hurrah, aren't they?
I think we're going to see a lot of that sort of thing now because I think more manufacturers are waking up to what's happening.
And someone as huge as Toyota can get away with doing these last hurrahs in various models because they've got so much to offset it.
Yes, quite. Because
it doesn't matter.
Even the sort of fleet averages that are of CO2 emissions that are being applied to them, like you say, because their range is so vast, they can balance it out. A smaller manufacturer wouldn't be able to do that.
No, that's it. I mean, the amount of Toyota, the Corollas, the boring ones with hybrid or whatever variants they've got.
Yeah,
they're flying off the shelf for fleet cars or anyone who's utterly boring and just thinks, I'll just go and buy one.
Someone who doesn't care about cars.
That's the thing. I tell you what, that's the most annoying thing about not getting that GR Corolla again. At no point does anyone really desired a Corolla. You see it and you go. The problem is you don't see them. They're that.
No, exactly. I was just going to say that's the thing. You don't see them. They blend into the bushes.
That's it. And for them to make something that ludicrous.
Yeah. I love that kind of wolf in sheep's clothing thing where they make a really, really, really hot version of an otherwise quite dull and ordinary car. I hugely approve of that. I always have.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, sometimes it can go horrifically wrong.
Granted.
Yeah, and it's from another Japanese manufacturer, actually. The one that really makes me want to vomit is when Nissan did a Nismo Duke.
Oh.
Like, for the love of God. No.
That's not something that should be combined. No.
One of the most prestigious sort of motorsport divisions of a manufacturer, and going, you've popped that on a Duke. Well done.
Oh, you've just devalued the whole thing.
That's it. We've had some of the Nismo offerings over the years, and you go, right, that's where we've arrived at. Oh, Christ!
This is where we're ending up with that, is it?
Yeah, and there we go. We come full circle, don't we? We come back to moaning about an SUV again.
There you go. Yes, we tied it all together there.
Yep. Okay. Good. Right. Let's pop a little bow on that. That's all very neatly done.
That was lovely. That all the way around. Yes, ending with another pointless lump.
That's it. Yeah. Don't leave this episode thinking of that. Think of one of those Toyotas or the electric DeLorean. Please don't think of a Nismo Duke.
Oh.
Yeah,
you know what I'm going to be thinking of.
Yeah, happy place. Go to your DeLorean. Yeah, there we go. We'll leave you.
Here I go. I'm there. Yeah. I'm just gonna float off now.
Yeah, I think we'll leave you to it.
Yeah,
dirty.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.